Hello, my name's Theodora and I'm from Edinburgh Community Food, and today we're going to be making some fruity flapjacks. We need to remember to get ready first, so I've got long hair, I need to tie that back. So I'll just tie my hair back first. If you've got long sleeves, get them out the way. I've got these little links that I can just put over to help keep them up, and remember to always put your apron on. That's to protect the food as well as your clothes. Tie that at the back. After I've done all that, I'll go wash my hands, and as soon as I've washed my hands, I'm ready to get cooking. Once your hands are all nice and clean, we're ready to get started. So let's have a look at the ingredients for our fruity flapjack. We've got 100 grams of butter here. We'll be using 2 tablespoons of soft light brown sugar, 5 tablespoons of golden syrup or maple syrup. I've also got 175 grams of rolled oats and 90 grams of sultanas. When you're talking about teaspoons and tablespoons, you can get measuring spoons that have all the amounts on them. But it's easy to have a wee look. Half a tablespoon is the same as just a dessert spoon that you would use for having your pudding. It's 7.5 millilitres, half a tablespoon. The measurement we're going to be using today is for tablespoons. This is a tablespoon. As you can see, it's really quite big. We're going to start just putting the rolled oats and the sultanas together. Just tip the sultanas in with the oats. Oh, there's always some that get away. And mix them in around. Just coating them. Looks just like your porridge mix in the morning. Sultanas will give you that nice little fruity burst, and of course, in small amounts, they're good for you. I'm just going to put that out of the way for the moment. We want to add our butter, sugar and syrup together. We want 2 tablespoons. So that's the big one, which is listed as a tablespoon or 15 millilitres. 2 of those. So I'm going to scoop 1, put it in, and 2. There we go. That's my sugar in. So I'm going to scrape in my 100 grams of butter. Make sure I get it all out. This is nice and soft, it makes it easy. And I'm going to scrape in, I would say pour, but as you can see it's really thick. I'm going to just scrape in my golden syrup. There we go. And that's my ingredients in the pan. Ready to go to the hob. So we're going to be using this tray. So we want to line that with greaseproof paper. Greaseproof paper has a dull side and a shiny side quite often. Have a quick look at it. You always want to have the shiny side up, so that's what's in contact with the food. Lots of people also like to grease their paper before they use it. You can do that very easily just with a little bit of butter. Just cover it over. I can just use my fingers to mark out the edges. So what I'm going to do now is take this through to the kitchen and we'll heat this up. Remember to turn your oven on, preheat it, get it nice and hot. I'm just going to turn the gas on under here, so I'm going to move it out the way first. Turn it on, there we go. I'm going to get it really down quite low and then putting it back on again. Always make sure your handle is over the hob and not sticking out at the front. Now it's just a case of stirring it, waiting for it to melt. mixing it all in together. Hopefully shouldn't take too long. My butter's nice and soft, so it's melting quite quickly. Turn the heat really down low. If you've got any lumps of sugar, you can kind of just squish them down with the end of your spoon. Breaks it up, means that you can mix it in around. I've still got a few little lumps there, so I'll just squish them out too. Just making sure I get any butter and syrup off the edge of the spoon. That's running back down into the pan. There we are, I think that looks pretty good. It's nice and liquid. That'll be easy to get into my bowl now. Remember, you're just melting it, you're not cooking it, so you don't need to wait for it to bubble or anything, but you can move it around the pan and you can see that that's nice and liquidy. I think that's just about what we want. Remember, as soon as you finish using the hob, turn it off. Mine's got a little safety button as well, so I'll press that so it won't go on accidentally. Here's our nice hot mixture. We've got sultanas in here. You could use other dried fruit. You could also use some seeds if you wanted to add a little bit more nutritional value into your flapjacks. And they'll be tasty too. Right. Ooh, that looks delicious. I've got a little spatula here, so I'm going to just scrape round just so I can get all that syrup off. There we are, and I'm going to mix it in. Give it a good mix, make sure everything's coated. That smells delicious. There. I think that's good and coated. Now that I've got that coated, let's pour this mixture in. Get that off my wooden spoon, and I'm going to switch to my spatula again so I can get all the oats out. There we are. I don't think I needed such a big tray, but that's okay. I don't have to use all the tray. I can just squish it to one end, so that's okay. And here is where I bring out my secret weapon. Tatty masher. Really good for squishing it down into place. Scrape that back off again. There we go. That is all ready for the oven. I've got my fan oven all preheated to the correct temperature. It's all ready to go. If you want to be extra safe, you can use oven gloves while you're putting it in. There we go, looks good. I think these flapjacks should be ready now. I've had them on for 25 minutes. So I'll turn off the alarm, open it up. Got my oven gloves ready. Oh yes, look at that. I've got clean fingers. That's just springing back nicely, so that looks good and ready to eat. Just browning around the edges. Yeah. Smells delicious. I'll turn my oven off. I've left the flapjacks to cool down for about 5 minutes. And one of the benefits about using the greaseproof paper is that I can just lift it out. There you go. I can now use my knife and just cut it into sections. that. There's one bit there. And I'll use a metal spatula to scrape it off. And there's my portion of flapjack. Looks delicious, smells delicious. I've got a tub here as well, so I can put all the segments in, cover it over, and that will keep for 3 to 4 days in the fridge. I hope you've enjoyed making these fruity flapjacks as much as I have. They smell delicious and I'm certainly looking forward to eating them later. Thanks for joining us, thanks for watching, and everybody at Edinburgh Community Food wishes you a very Merry Christmas.